A long time ago, in a land called Uz, there lived a man named Job. Job was a good and upright man who loved God and stayed away from evil. He was very wealthy and had a big family. He owned thousands of animals, sheep, camels, oxen, and donkeys, and had many servants. Job was known as the greatest man in the East. His children often held feasts in their homes, and after these gatherings, Job would pray for them and offer sacrifices to God. He did this because he worried that his children might have sinned in their hearts. One day in heaven, God's angels came to present themselves before him, and Satan also came along. God asked Satan if he had noticed Job, a man who was blameless and faithful. Satan argued that Job was only loyal because God had blessed him with wealth and protection. Satan suggested that if Job lost everything, he would curse God. So, God allowed Satan to test Job, but told him not to harm Job himself. Soon after, disaster struck Job's life. Messengers came one after another with terrible news. Raiders stole his oxen and donkeys. Fire burned up his sheep and servants. More raiders took his camels. And finally, a great wind caused the house where his children were feasting to collapse, killing them all. Despite all this heartbreak, Job did not blame God. Instead, he said, "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised." Later, Satan returned to God and claimed that if Job's health were taken away, he would surely curse God. God allowed Satan to afflict Job with painful sores, but forbade him from taking Job's life. Covered in sores from head to toe, Job sat in ashes and scraped his skin with broken pottery. Even when his wife told him to curse God and give up, Job refused. He said they must accept both good and bad from God without sinning. Job's 3 friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, came to visit him when they heard about his suffering. They sat with him silently for 7 days because they saw how much pain he was in. Finally, Job spoke up and expressed his deep sorrow. He cursed the day he was born and questioned why he had to suffer so much. Job's friends began to speak, trying to explain his suffering. Eliphaz suggested that Job must have sinned because innocent people do not suffer like this. Bildad said that if Job were truly righteous, God would restore him. Zophar accused Job of talking too much and said he should repent so that God would forgive him. But Job insisted that he was innocent and did not understand why he had to endure so much pain. Their conversations continued for many rounds as Job defended himself while his friends kept blaming him for hidden sins. Despite feeling abandoned by God at times, Job never lost faith entirely. He said powerful words like, "Though he slay me, yet will I hope in him, and I know that my Redeemer lives." These words showed that even in his darkest moments, Job trusted that God had a plan. One day, a great storm appeared with dark clouds and lightning. From within the storm, the voice of God spoke to Job. God asked questions about the wonders of creation. "Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation? Can you command the morning or guide the stars? Do you know how animals live or where lightning comes from?" Through these questions, God reminded Job of his infinite power and wisdom. Humbled by God's words, Job realized how small he was compared to the Creator of everything. He admitted that he had spoken without understanding and repented for questioning God's ways. After this encounter, God rebuked Job's friends for not speaking truthfully about him. He told them to offer sacrifices and ask Job to pray for them so they could be forgiven. When Job prayed for his friends, God restored his fortunes. In fact, God blessed him with twice as much as he had before: more animals, wealth, and even a new family with 7 sons and 3 beautiful daughters. Job lived a long life filled with blessings after his trials were over. His story teaches us about faith during difficult times and reminds us that even when we don't understand why things happen, we can trust in God's greater plan. This story of Job is a powerful example of patience, faithfulness, and trust in God's wisdom.